In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my morning coffee using the Hario V60. The V60 is a very simple device, but it does have a little bit of a learning curve. You do need to practice to get good at it, but once you get past that hump, you're rewarded with a much greater coffee experience every single morning. In terms of ratios, I use anywhere from a 1 to 14 to 1 to 16 coffee to water ratio. And in this particular recipe, I'm using 13 grams of coffee to 200 grams of water. If you do the math, that's a little bit over a 1 to 15 ratio. This is also a good place to start because the numbers are easy and then you can adjust from there. The first thing I do is I set my water to heat up, and I do this first because this is the longest process, and my goal every single day is to get all my preparation done just in time for when my water reaches boiling point. The first thing I do is I set up my filter, and as you can see, I'm using the white Hario filter. From what I've read, this has the least amount of paper taste, so that's why I use it. After that, I get to the grinding, and this is the most tedious part of the whole process, but at this point it's become second nature. I don't really think too much about it. That being said, the coffee grinder is one of the pieces in my setup that I hope to upgrade in the future. I'd like a smoother operation and a quicker operation to give me more consistent grinds on a day-to-day basis. I'd also eventually like to upgrade my kettle to something that is electric and that has temperature control, again to add to that consistency on a day-to-day basis. I know my water's done boiling once the top of the lid starts to rattle, and at that point I quickly turn off my stove, I grab my kettle, and I do my first pour, which isn't actually on the coffee. It's to heat up my pour over, and it's to heat up my cup, and it's also to get rid of any excess paper taste on the filter. After that, I pour in my coffee grounds, and now I'm ready for my first pour, which is called the blooming pour. This is when I pour anywhere from double to triple the amount of coffee in water, and this just gives the coffee the chance to release any excess gas, any excess CO2 in it, and this is supposed to give you a much better extraction once you do those bigger pours. After about 30 seconds, I then start my main pour, and my main pour brings my total amount of water all the way up to 100 grams. In terms of the way I pour outwards starting from the middle, and I do sort of a circular motion to make sure all of the grounds are covered and everything is nice and even. I also try to not make it too quick, try to keep it nice and steady for an even extraction. Sometimes I'll give the pour over a little bit of a shake just to make sure that the coffee grounds settle down in the bottom of the pour over. After about a minute, I do my second and final pour, and this is to bring the water all the way up to 200 grams. Again, I keep it nice and even, nice circular motion, just to get that best extraction that I can. After this, I'll either again give the pour over a quick shake, or I'll give it a quick stir to make sure that the coffee grounds do settle at the bottom to get a nice, even, flat bit of coffee at the bottom. Again, we're aiming for that even extraction all throughout. My brewing time is usually anywhere from 1 minute and 45 seconds to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, depending on the size of my grinds, but as long as I'm in that range, I'm pretty good, and I only adjust from there if I do find that the taste is not to my liking. Otherwise, I'm completely fine with anything in that range for 1 cup of coffee. After that, I get rid of the filter. I give my cup a quick stir just to make sure everything is even, all the coffee's even, the taste is even, and then I'm ready to enjoy my cup of coffee.